So I just got back from my first cruise as a gamer. I've been on cruises before, but never bringing games with me. So I sat down, okay, who's going with me? And I wanted to try to bring a game that I know each person would like, and then just brought some that we could play together. So overall, I fit 10 games into a small little bag. Let me show you. Oh yeah, this bag right here. I mean, you gotta admit, that is pretty tiny. I think it's only like 9x4x4. So, and you can tell there's still room. It wasn't like it's not packed to the gill or anything. So I figured in today's video, we could just crack this open, go through which games I brought, and just kind of give you guys inspiration for when you pack for your next cruise. Now, obviously, I had to take the games out of the original boxes, except maybe except for one. But when you prepare the original games, poof. I mean, would you rather bring this or this? I'm gonna go with this. So inside, you can see how I organized it. I mean, what a great place to store my markers, and we'll come to this game in a second. The one thing I'm really happy I brought with me is this pad right here. This is actually a magic pad that I use when I was doing walk around magic, because you can hold this in your hand, open it up, and the back is waterproof. And now this is a nice soft texture. So it's sort of like a nice, table on the go. This mat was great because we could just find any table anywhere on the boat. I can slap this down, and essentially this could hold the key components of the game without any fear of them getting damaged with water or any kind of gunk. Or, I mean, you've been on a cruise, who knows what those tables are hiding. Jokes aside, the Disney cruise was exceptionally clean. I don't think I saw a piece of trash once. I'm convinced they have a camera system dedicated to finding and getting rid of trash. I think I once saw a napkin at a corner of my eye hit the ground. By the time I looked around, it was already gone. Like someone already picked it up and threw it away. So Disney, they are trash assassins. So that is the mat. Next up, I'll go through I had a few roll and writes I brought with me. I love good roll and writes, especially on trips. I tend to find myself playing them a lot, and I just thought this case was perfect for having the markers organized here, and I had different ones here. I brought mini markers because my worst fear was that you bring a few and then one dries out, and now you're just trying to borrow. So I brought a lot of extra markers, more than I needed. I must say, for those who are looking for good markers, this one in particular was very good. It's solid, big, and has a nice sharp point that you can write really fine with or thick with, depending on how hard you press. I know this is more the standard one you see everywhere. These are fine, but they're definitely not as precise. So this one right here was great. So the first one was the Raw roll and write. Funny enough, I still only played this original board game version of Raw at 3 players. I'm really itching to play it at 4 or 5 players. Let me know if that's the ideal player count. From what I can tell, it definitely is. The Raw flip and write is nice. Let me get the cards out. Here are the cards for the game. Now, what I like about the roll and write, which it does capture the essence of the original game, because you would pull out those raw tiles, and after so many, the round went in. So there's always that anticipation of you don't quite know when the game's gonna end. So here you have these 3 red raw cards mixed in with the deck. So you don't know if you're going to go through all the cards or just a few or half. So that anticipation definitely was fun. Like I was playing with my mother-in-law, and once she realizes 3 raw cards ends the round, on the second and third round, she's like, "Oh, no red card, no red card." So I love that this game kind of has that tension kind of built in. In terms of the actual game, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main sections that you're filling in. Each of them are fairly straightforward. And this one it's not like super combo-y, which I don't mind. I feel like some of these roll and writes, like That's So Clever on that, they can be a little too combo-tastic. So I feel like you're just heads down too much. Where this one, you might get one combo, it does a couple of chain effects, but you're right back to kind of like playing with people. So you're not heads down the entire time. This one plays pretty simple. I need more games. I still have only played it at 2 players. I'm really itching to play this game at more because I'm curious to see, the dynamic with 3, 4 players. So for now, this is still a good roll and write at 2. I still enjoy it, but I assume I would probably like it more at 3 players at least. The next roll and write I brought was a new one. This was the new Locust. So I love polynomials, and I was like, you know what? I have one kind of roll and write polynomial game that's pretty straightforward. This one I felt like it kind of felt like That's So Clever type games, because it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little mini games going on, but you're trying to place the polynomial tiles and honestly more challenging than I thought. They're very awkwardly shaped, so it's not like super straightforward. Let me show you. So some are like this, very standard, and then you get some of these wonky ones like that, which in itself is fine. My only complaint is that you're allowed to mirror in this game, but you can't just flip it over and mirror it. So trying to flip that in your brain, sometimes that was the challenging part. And then if you look at the board itself, look at the red one here, some of these shapes, like trying to fit like this blue one inside there, not really a big problem. You see this red one here, trying to fit that into one of these like red sections could be challenging. You know, you're like trying to think, okay, what's the best way to do that, to optimize? So I definitely found myself thinking more. Now, as I'm looking at the shapes, I think what I meant more is the shapes we have here versus the board and the goals you're trying to achieve. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's not as straightforward as I felt like maybe like patchwork, where you're just trying to put things into a nice grid. Here, you're trying to achieve a certain objectives and get things to connect. And when you're given some weird shapes, you're trying to think, okay, how's the best way to put that in there that I can connect these boxes in the best way? Because with Locust, each one of these, you're just trying to achieve a certain mini game. You know, with the yellow section, you're just trying to fill in as many rows as possible. You know, the higher up, the more points, the lower, the less points. The red one, you're just trying to fill in the boxes all the way. The blue, you're trying to climb up to the top as high as you can go. With purple, you're trying to just connect these kind of like deeper purple boxes there. In green, you start from the center and you try to get to the ends. If you get to the ends, you get points. And that's the quick summary of kind of how this stuff works. The reason I brought these two games is I was just looking for something to have just in case all 4 adults that were there could play something together, because I just didn't know how things were going to go. I know on this boat they have like a kid section that your kid basically can only go in there, and I heard they could be there for hours. So it's okay, well, maybe there's an opportunity for us to do this. So I ended up only playing these at 2 players, so I didn't quite do all the adults, but still, the option was there if it did come up. Now, knowing we'd be on the boat, I wanted something that would hold up to the wind, so that's why I brought Bombastic. Now I have all the pieces here. I guess I'll get them out. 1 second. Okay, got them. So as you can tell, these are heavy, chunky tiles. They can get wet. The wind's not blowing these off. And the game is very simple. I just figured this is another one that it's fun, it's light. You can play 1 game, 2 games, 10 games in a row. I find this kind of game that plays better with more play. So for those who don't know the game, essentially you have 4 X's, 4 O's, and then 1 bomb. You're just trying to get tic-tac-toe as you think. You're trying to get like 3 O's in a row, either horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. To do that, on your turn, you basically play one of these cards or you go for it. These cards let you look and peek and swap the things. And it's sort of a memory, because once you do that, they might be mixed around. You're trying to follow things. But ultimately, if you feel like you got it, you eventually just go for it. And then you can turn over 3. That was just luck. Randomly got those there. And you can turn them over. And then if you got 3 in a row, you win the game. So pretty simple. This game, it's one of those games where I find myself laughing a lot when playing it, because like the more you play it, you could there's a lot of meta and little bits that you get with your opponent. Because the first game you probably just stumble through it and be like, oh, I lost or whatever. But eventually there's a bomb too. Where's the bomb? Here it is. You get the bomb, which does come up, and then you get that instant loss. So that gets you chuckling too. This game it surprised me. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but once I played it, especially with the right people, it's up there with like Such a Sizzle, those kind of games where you think it's going to be dumb, but it just works. Next up, I brought How Dare You. Now, I brought this mainly for my dad. My dad loves trivia. Even on the boat, he would always duck off into any kind of trivia. He won the sports trivia, and he's like, oh, it's easy, Ron. He would give me some of the examples. I don't know sports very well, and I knew none of them. So I figured this game would go over well. And it did, because I found, especially during like the muster drill and those little things where we were like forced to be places and we were just waiting on things. What a great game to have in your pocket, because you can just play like 1 card and be done with it. For those who don't know this game, it works by, you take out one of these cards, and we'll just say is this one. And the topic is video games. Someone names a number between 1 and 5. So we'll just say they say number 4. The question says number of coins in the first level of the first Super Mario Bros. Game. So in the first level of Super Mario's, how many coins are on that level if you collected them all? So now no one knows the answer potentially, right? Some of these answers are just like, you're not meant to know. Maybe you have a feel for it. So for that one, I might start the bid at I might say, I think it's 100 coins. And then it goes to the next person. They can either say, Ryan, I think you're too high. I think it's less than 100, and they call me on it. If they call me on it, we look at the answer. If 100 is less than the real answer, then they would lose the bet, right? Or they can raise me. They could say, you know what? I think it's 150. And now the next person goes. Now, is 150 too high? Or do I want to raise it higher? You basically keep raising it until someone says, all right, that's too high. And then you look at the back. So in this case, so shut your ears if you don't want to hear the answer. The answer to how many coins on the first level of Super Mario Bros. Is 44. There's 44. Now, I said 100, so I was already in trouble. But the nice part is, if you say it with confidence, then the next person says, I don't want to call him. He says 150. Because maybe they're thinking it's 200. I thought it was 200, honestly. I kind of went low to kind of leave room to go up. So, which is another strategy you could do. So in this case, I wouldn't get the points. If they called him at 150 or her, then they would get it. In this case, points are just the number of ducks on top. So each card, like this is worth, like right here, 4 ducks. This one's worth, 2 ducks, and so on and so forth. So they would get this one 3 points. The game ends when someone gets 7 points, and that's it. That game's over. Play as many rounds as you want. Typically, we'll play 5 rounds, and whoever does the best wins. Okay, next up, I brought Kabanga. Funny enough, this is actually a newer game for me. I've heard about it forever, finally tried it, played it with my wife and mother-in-law, and they loved it. Honestly, it was, and I had fun. This game is totally luck-based, but it's just fun. How this game works, essentially you'll have 4 colors stacked like this. We'll just show you blues for now. You'll notice that the blue has a 1 here and a 16 here. So right now this is a pretty big range between 1 and 16. So on my turn, I have to play a blue card either here or here. So if I play, say, the 17, for instance, say I play the 17 there, well, there's nothing in between 16 and 17, so I'm safe. But let's just say I played the 9 here. Well, now, basically, from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all those cards, blue cards, if anyone has those cards in their hand, let's just say they had the 11, like this, they could say, Kabanga, and then throw the card at me. And now I would have to draw as many cards as cards that were thrown at me. So this is one of those games where you start with so many cards in your hand, and you're just trying to shed cards. And like I said, it can be luck, for the most part, luck. But it's something about the game and the flow, maybe it's snappy. And the fact that you can say, Kabanga, and throw it at them, that's a lot of fun. Now, I will say, I first said that was part of the game to my wife and her mom. They're like, we're not saying Kabanga, Ryan. But, I'm stubborn. So we would play the game. They would throw the card down. I go, I'm not taking it unless you say the magic word, which in this case is Kabanga. So they would say Kabanga, and then after a while, after like 4 or 5 rounds, they were like, Kabanga, or even my mother-in-law was funny. She kept changing the names, like Kadingu, Kadanga, whatever. She would just make up words. But it was funny. So this game, I brought it because it's super easy to teach. You can literally teach people the game within seconds of like opening the box, pretty much. And once they get the flow going, it's just an easy breezy game. So love having these in the box, so that's why I brought it. Let's see what's next. Oh yes, I cannot travel with my daughter and not bring the fruit game. That's what she calls it. It's Fruit Fight. This game is just, she loves it. She loves it. And every time we were out somewhere, she's like, Daddy, did you bring the fruit game? That's what she calls it. So now I just endearingly call it the fruit game. I know it's called Fruit Fight, but I'll never call it that. This game, you're trying to collect as many points as possible. To do that, on your turn, you can flip cards over. You're just not allowed to have duplicates. So right now, if I flip another banana or orange, I'm in trouble. So, which I just did. Did not set that up. So I would bust. But let's just try it again. So I got a watermelon, I got some of this. Maybe I'll go for one more. Okay, I'll stop there. So right now, this is how many points I could have. And this is where it's interesting. Because until it's my turn again, I can't bank these. So the next person would go, say they go, they get the 10. Here we go. So in this case, they got another coconut. Well, they would steal everyone's coconuts that currently are still on the table. So they would get my coconut. Now, do they stop there or do they keep going? Maybe they go one more. Okay, they go blueberries. Now their stop goes to this third person. Ooh, now they got another coconut. So they would steal those coconuts. You see how the game's now, I think there's at least 7 or 8 of these coconuts. So the stack can get pretty thick. And I think that's kind of nice because it makes you want to keep going for it. So right now he might go one more card, maybe. He's greedy. He might go again. Oh, he gets my orange. So now it's my turn. I lost a few cards, but now I can bank these 7 points. And now I can maybe potentially steal these. I really want those coconuts. So watermelon. Ooh, I get the nice peppers. Do I go for one more? Ooh, I should stop, but for you guys, I'll go one more. I get those oranges, and now we keep going around. So I stop there, but this is not guaranteed. They would bank their blueberries, and then they would go and they would steal this one and so on and so forth. You go until the cards are done, add up your points, highest points wins. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward game. You can see why my daughter loves it. It's just easy to play, and it's cute to see her have so much restraint. Like all the adults are just like going for it. Like my daughter's like, I'm good. And honestly, I would say 8 out of 10 times she wins. The patience pays off because we all get greedy and we always bust. Where meanwhile, she's just banking a few points at a time and doesn't really bust ever. And then she typically wins. So, so I need to learn a lot more from my daughter. Next up is a beefier game. Probably can't tell what it is from there, but it is Henamakoji. This is a new one for me. I brought it just in case. We didn't end up playing it. I thought my dad, I know he's not into like these like party-ish games. I thought, he's probably more of a chess kind of guy. So I thought this game could be fun to introduce to him because there's a little bit more strategic thinking. It's a head-to-head battle. I've only played this a couple times with my buddy, and I did enjoy it. I just wanted to play again. So, I knew the chances were probably 2% of getting played, but I brought it just in case. So that was Hand of Mikoji. If you haven't played this game, it's a nice little lane battle game. You have these different geishas in the middle, and on your turn, you have 4 kind of actions that you have to play one at a time. So you eventually play through all 4 actions, and then essentially you go through all the different geisha cards, and you see who has control of each one. Eventually, once you get I think it's 11 points or control of 4 or 5 of them or something like that, then that's who wins. So it's a nice tension of, that nice tug of war, back and forth kind of feel to it. Simple game, very easy to get into. That's why I thought maybe my dad could get into it, but next time. Okay, next up is a nice little card game, which I'm sure you guys heard of. It is Nana, or Trio. I brought Nana. I actually prefer playing Trio because the larger cards are just easier to see, and I think the cards are a little bit nicer. But with Travel, though, Nana's just great because, you really can't beat the size of this. Even in the box. Originally I had in the box, but to get this optimally packed, I had to abandon the box for pretty much all of them except for How Dare You. That one, it just fit perfectly. It just worked. So with Nana, I'm sure you guys heard this game. It's essentially like Gamers Go Fish, everyone calls it, which I do agree. It's a great way of describing it. You're trying to find, sets of 3 of any number, and you only can ask questions. It's, show me your lowest card, show me your highest card, or you can look at cards in the middle. So if I'm playing against you, I'd be like, hey, show me your lowest card, and you have to show me your lowest card as a 2. And maybe I have the other 2 2s. So now I can reveal my 2 2s. With your 2, I make my first set. The first person to make 3 sets of 3 wins the game. So it's fun. I think Nana shines in Trio, shines once you play with the same people 3 games. The first 2 games I feel are not as great, and then once you start having the memory issues, because you'll start, trust me, this will happen to you. You'll start confusing game 3 with game 2 and 1, and you could swear the 10 was on the table, but that was from the game prior to the game you're playing now. And you get these funny moments of oh no, that was last game. And you could ask some person their highest card, they could show it to you, and on the very next turn you're like, shoot, what was your highest card again? So there's a little bit of memory component, but I find myself, this kind of game, if I play with a group and we're having fun, typically we'll play 5, 6 games in a row, and then it's great. But they go fast. So sometimes the game can end very fast, and sometimes it can go on, depending on how people are playing that game. Just 2 more games left. Last one. Oh, yeah. You guys know what this game is from the back of the cards? This is Lost Cities. Yeah, that's a very big difference. I debated bringing the board in here. I could have fit it, but I figured with my pad, I just didn't need it. So I ended up just using the pad to kind of hold the cards. Granted, it wasn't the best solution. I think in the future, I probably will just bring this on top of everything. But you live and learn. So Lost Cities, I won't go through it because I'm sure you guys know what it is. It's another great head-to-head game. Hand of Mikoji is definitely more advanced. Lost Cities is simple, but it's you can definitely get good at it. It's one of those games where when you start playing with people, they kind of just don't understand how there's skill, and then until you just keep winning, and then they go, oh, okay, well, he keeps winning, he must be doing something. So it's a game that will surprise you the more you play it. So I love Lost Cities. I probably played this game probably the most of, I think I would say it's up there with Nana. Trio, Nana, and Lost Cities are probably the games I played the most so far. I just love this game. I think it's elegant, it's smooth, it plays well. I mean, every time I play a game, I feel like I might have a strategy that I might try last time that won, but it just doesn't always work out. So I find yourself, you're always having to adjust yourself when playing Lost Cities. It's a great one if you haven't. I'm sure you guys heard of it. Fantastic game. Okay, the last one. The last one is going to be this bad boy. Now, this is small cards, which I love for the purpose of the case. And this is Odin. Odin is great. I love Odin. I like it at 2 players. I like it at 3 players. I like it at 4 players. I like it at different player counts. And the reason I try to find the right card game, that's why I brought this one. Because Nana, I can't play with my mother-in-law. I can't. So I wanted a card game that if it was just the 2 of us, we could play this game and still have fun. We ended up playing this one with my dad, which went fine. I ended up winning in the end somehow. I think I came back from behind, which was nice. But this is cool. I don't know if he loved it per se, but it's okay. It's not everyone's cup of tea. Like I say, he's not a huge gamer. So I really enjoy this game. I think it's fun. I think there's the right level of luck versus strategy versus tactical kind of stuff, which makes it fun. This game, you're just trying to get rid of your cards. You start off with so many cards in your hand, and each time you play cards, you have to play like a number that's larger than the previous played card. So if someone played like 22, I have to play something like 23 or 24, or I can play one more card. So they play 2 cards, kind of like Scout. They play 2 cards, I can play 3 cards. If I play 3 cards, the next person can play 4 cards, and so on and so forth. But ultimately, you're just trying to get rid of your cards. The twist of this game, which is interesting, is every time you play something, you have to then pick up one of the cards that the previous person plays. So if they played 22, for instance, I play something that beats them, I still have to then pick up one of those 2s. So obviously you want to optimize. Maybe I have a bunch of blues and one of the 2s is blue. I obviously maybe want to take that one, so later on I can make a bigger blue number. So it's fun. Like I said, Odin's great. If you haven't played it, definitely check it out. And that's it. We made it through the whole pouch. So like I said at the beginning, I packed these games because of the people I was going with. They're not exactly hardcore gamers. I wanted something that kind of fit the vibe for everyone. I had trivia, I had roll and rights, I had some simple card games, I had some head-to-head battles, just a little bit for everything. Because I didn't know if I'll be just with one person playing or 3 or 4. So I just wanted to have every scenario covered, and also every kind of like easy to get into. Like all these games are super simple. Maybe except for Hanamakoji, it's the only one you have to like maybe spend a little more time on. But for the most part, you can play any of these games within seconds of teaching them. So what do you guys think of the collection? I mean, I was pretty amazed I got them all in there, and it didn't feel overpacked. Now, you gotta imagine this thing was dense. I would like boom. I wish I weighed it. I wish I did weigh. I'm curious how much this actually did weigh. I don't know. What do you guys guesses in the comments? What do you think this actually weighed at the end of it? Let me know. Maybe I'll pick a winner. I have a bunch of games to give away, so if you guys get close, I'll happily send you a whole box of games I gotta get rid of. So thanks again for tuning in. Leave your comments, subscribe, all that good stuff. You guys have been awesome to me. Appreciate the support. Until the next video, take care, have fun gaming, and have a good day.